think we can start, isn't it? Yes, once again, I would like to thank you very much for coming to this press conference where the Renewal Democrats of Zimbabwe wants to address the press, specifically on our coming Congress, which is going to be held this Friday and Saturday. Without wasting much of your time, I'm going to call upon our spokesperson, Mr. Pishaim Mchauraya, to address the House. Mr. Mchauraya, thank you.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen.
Before I start, Mr. Mchauraya, no fault which are not in flight mode. Sure. Yeah, on the flight mode.
Morning, ladies and gentlemen. All right. The RDZ National Congress, RDZ, was formed less than 150 days ago on the 3rd of June 2015 at the Women's Bureau as an alternative political party in Zimbabwe. The party believes in modern nationalism and Pan-Africanism. Renewal Democrats of Zimbabwe will be holding its National Congress on the 23rd and 24th of October 2015, which is meant to establish and cement RDZ as an alternative political force on Zimbabwe's political market. The Congress will be held at East End Hall at the Harare Exhibition Park. We have already held a successful Youth Congress on the 15th of August 2015 and the Women's Congress on the 29th of August 2015. The Youth Congress ushered in the Youth President, who is here, Fortune Munyonga, and the Chair Lady is Hilda Sibanda, who is not around here. The historical event will be held under the theme, Serving the Nation. In the same spirit, the RDZ's National Congress will be graced by 2,000 delegates drawn from across the nation. Participants will be from RDZ structures, specifically provincial structures, and the constituents chairpersons of the main wing. We would have liked to have more representatives, but unfortunately we cannot finance them. The first day will be closed door dealing with internal issues including elections. The second day will be opened to our non-delegate members, that is the civic society, diplomats, students, etc. The Congress will also act as a signpost of doing new things in the country given the current state of affairs in the country, which is recording high and alarming rates of unemployment, low standards in service delivery, the economy being in a comatose state, and the country slowly going towards a pariah state. RDZ has brought in a new system where every position was opened for all members to contest. Members were asked to offer themselves and apply for the position they felt more suited to serve. 5 positions are going through elections. RDZ will democratically elect a competitive, professional, accountable, and people-centered leadership that would facilitate the journey of the democratization process of Zimbabwe, hence becoming the next government. The Congress will adopt the party's constitution, symbol, and position paper. I thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Mchauraya. I think you heard the people who are actually being invited, especially on the second day. I did not hear the mention of journalists, isn't it? Journalists, you are actually invited. You will be there. You can also see Catherine, our media person. She'll give you the details. Thank you, Mr. Mchauraya. I now invite questions from the floor on the presentation.
No. Yes. The positions that we have.
Okay. Yes. Sorry.
Yes. I've said that we opened the contest to everyone. So the position that we have, which will be contested for, we've got the position of the president, And the nomination that we received is that of Elton Steers Mangoma. That the Vice President, we received UTK, the National Chairperson. We have Peter Nyoni, who will be contesting with Mr. Tafara Ngole. Vice Chairperson, there is Mr. Shadrach Chipangura. The Secretary General, there will be Trustee Chikohora. The Deputy Secretary General, there is Kosten Mguti. Our National Organizing Secretary, there will be a contest between Mr. Tichona Munyanyi and Mr. Jim Jalifi. Deputy Organizing Secretary, there is Mr. Onias Kwenda Climbing versus Mr. Yanga Moyo. Treasurer General Fidelis Mugari. Deputy Treasurer Mrs. Faresi Mtengwa. Information and Publicity, myself, Pisha Mchaura. Secretary for Elections, Mr. Maddock versus Musada Zengwa. Secretary for Policy, Josephine Ngumbe versus Give More Chino Fumbuka. That's what we have.
Thank you very much, Mr. Chairman. Now I invite questions from the floor.
The names, some of the names were saying so and so will be contested. Two names contesting one position, but there are some positions with just one person. So are you saying those people are just going unopposed?
If we don't receive nominations, further nominations, that means uncontested.
Thank you.
So does this
Yes.
mean now that nomination is still open?
Until Thursday, midnight.
Thank you very much, Spokes. More questions from the floor?
Who are you?
Thank you very much. My name is Wilson Box, that is my name. I'm the Director General for Renewal Democrats of Zimbabwe. Thank you. Yes, sir.
I want to say Renewal Democrats of Zimbabwe, teaching you one time to offer to the electorate of Zimbabwe.
As RDZ, we are offering servant leadership. Sema Renewal Democrats of Zimbabwe tiri kuoffer utungamiri wakazvininipisa unobve kuvanhu uchatungamirire nyika ino kwete vatongi.
My numbers are Spokes. More questions?
Coming up together with other political parties, I understand there have been talk among several parties, like they were expressing willingness to join with others. Are you coming in also on the board to join others, or you will go it alone?
We have no problems in that, but our main issue is where our principles and values converge. That's when we can talk about that. But where there is a difference between the principles and values of our party, then that can be ruled out.
Yes, sir.
We also had pressed the reports this week suggesting that your former colleague, Mr. Tendai-Biti, who now leads PDP, was saying one of your presidential candidates or your presidential candidate is now a tired man who cannot give anything new to the country. Your response to that?
It's not for Renewal Democrats of Zimbabwe to answer on such things. We treat every Zimbabwean as equal.
Thank you very much, Spokes. Yes, sir.
As the Renewal for Democrats Zimbabwe, do we have any structures at the moment that, since we are calling for a Congress, and if I may know, the leadership that we have, was it nominated through the structure, or it was through certain people who are aligned to the top leadership of the party? And also, I would like to know if political parties have been launching blueprints in the past, and what is your economic trajectory or your economic policies that you want to launch, if there is any that you work on?
Thank you. First of all, RDZ is fully represented. as structures at all levels. The missing point here is the national leadership, which we want to elect on the 23rd and the 24th. But from the branches, provinces and districts, we are all represented. That's why we are calling for a congress. And for your own information, we even have people vying for council elections because we've got structures all over the country. And as for the blueprints, RDZ is not going to give lectures to the nation. We are going to sit down with the people at our Congress and we'll come up with a position paper. Then we'll adopt that position paper. But as RDZ, we'll do more of listening than giving lectures to the nation. That's why we're calling ourselves servant leaders.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spox. Yes.
I just want to know if the RDZ is really about principles, considering that there's a very similarity, especially on the nomination of leaders, that we are having leaders coming up unopposed. We've heard that in ZANU PF, the MTCT, and Tendai BT's party. Now we also have a party with someone coming up uncontested. They've just been nominated and there's no contest. Can we not say, therefore, that opposition politics in Zimbabwe is about personalities who are just power hungry and who have, no mandate from the people?
And maybe as a follow-up to that before you answer, the cake, especially on the Zimbabwean opposition politics, seems to be getting narrower and narrower, giving ZANU-PF, the ruling party, freedom to do whatever they want unopposed, because if we were to go into an election or a presidential election, there will be split of votes and so forth. Why not come up with a consensus, regardless of whatever your principles, but for the better of the people and not the ego of personalities?
First of all, the issue of positions not being contested, that's why we were saying as RDZ, people were not nominated in provincial structures or district structures. We were saying, we were opening, and we said, those who feel should contest for a specific position must submit their names and profiles, and those who felt that they could lead or they could be part of the servant leadership, they did so. So it's not about personalities here. That is why we're saying positions are still open. And as for the cake being small, Tawanda, one, RDZ, we believe in constitutionalism. One, we feel it is every Zimbabwean's right to have a political party of their own choice, and that it is not a fact that if political parties are more, ZANU-PF cannot be defeated. We've got countries where there are more than 30 political parties, but the ruling party can be defeated. And we know that RDZ is going to be the next government come 2018.
Thank you very much.
The question is out.
Thank you very much, Spox. I think I give 5 last questions. Already I've got 2 hands in the air. I think I'll be a little bit stingy. I'll come back to you when I see that there are no more. By 2, 3. All right, 2 more. And then I'll slot you in.
Okay.
And then I've got 1 slot more.
It appears that all the opposition parties in the country are singing from the same hymn when it comes to articulating the issues obtaining in the country. Probably as a follow-up to the earlier questions, why is it that the opposition parties are failing to unite at this point in time? Secondly, what is your position regarding participating in future elections given the electoral playing field. We have had most of the opposition parties saying that the political playing field is not even. Are you going to participate in future elections? And you have already alluded to some of your members participating in council elections. Are you saying that the political playing field is even as RDZ?
The political playing field is not even, but it not being even is not a license to give ZANU-PF the free right to power. Politics is like a game of rugby. You cannot expect a hassle-free sale to power. We have to contest them and defeat them on the game, and we know we've got some mechanisms of defeating them. So we are going to participate in those elections, and we are not going to boycott. We are going to participate.
Even if the ground is not level, because I think already it's tilted towards ZANU-PF, like you are saying. So, what are your chances of winning in such an instance?
No, I'm telling you that RDZ is going to be the next government.
Based on what?
No, we've got our own formula. We're going to win.
Thank you very much, Mr. Spokesperson. Yes.
It's a follow-up to the question of a coalition. You said that maybe your ideologies, you have to look at the ideologies, whether you agree or not agree in principle as opposition political parties to come together. We understand that there is one key player right now, or a group called 21st from ZANU-PF, whether it is led by Naim Juru or not, but her name is being actually profiled as the leader of that group. Are there any chances that you could be having talks with her so that she comes to your side, you join hands, come together, or you have actually closed doors? You don't want even to talk to her at all?
No. Our policy is very clear on coalitions. Where values and principles merge, then we can talk. We also have what we call pre-election pacts, whereby we can actually talk to people so that we make sure that we unseat ZANU-PF. That one we can do. But where our values and principles do not converge, there is no room for alliances. And you remember, RDZ is not about positions, it is about serving the nation. So our policy and direction is very clear. We are getting there. So in as far as those people you're talking about, I don't want to mention them by names. You know how many people lost their lives through those people. If they're here, say we're in an alliance with some of them, you know them. And in RDZ we're talking about reparations. You can't talk about reparations when those political godfathers are seated here, those who were murdering people in the recent years. You can't. So you can't talk about that. So our values actually will not congruate.
Thank you very much. Yes, my good friend.
Okay, you mentioned about you expecting something like 2,000 So I would like to know from you if what criteria are you going to use in terms of your inter-party election? Because we have come with this sort of recoup of vote buying. So in terms of transparency.
In terms of transparency, one man, one vote by secret ballot.
Anybody is going to help you conduct those elections?
Yeah, we've got some people who are going to conduct those elections, but we cannot disclose now.
Thank you,
because it is an internal thing.
Thank you. The friend.
Yes. My interest has been put across by the question has been asked.
Thank you very much. the last one, isn't it?
Yeah. So in short, are you saying is there with people like Anamanichu?
It's not about names. My question, my problem.
But in case,
my problem with you is when you put about names. When you talk about names, what I'm saying is, we look at the values and the past of those people. If they were responsible for murdering people, and we say as RDZ government, we'll make sure that there will be reparations, there will be compensation for those who lost their lives, those who lost their property. Then you talk about a person who was responsible for the murdering of people. Here, how are you going to address that?
Thank you very much. I think you've been answered. Ladies and gentlemen, let me thank you very much for attending this press conference. For those who've been interested in getting a soft copy or hard copy of